First, a record 1 billion methamphetamine pills seized in East and Southeast Asia last year, according to the UN, as crime gangs exploited the COVID pandemic and instability in the coup-hit Myanmar to boost their activities. Let's listen in.
That we had, for the first time in the region, we seized over 1 billion meth tablets. This is a really huge amount. In terms of tablets, it might be hard to see, but if we convert it to tons, this is equivalent to about 91 tons of meth. So that's over half of the meth seized in 2021 was meth tablets. This in comparison to just 78 tons in 2020. The record amount of meth tablets seized in 2021 that were predominantly in the lower Mekong, predominantly in Lao PDR, Thailand, and Myanmar. When I say 1 billion, the exact number is about 1,000,000,007 million. So that's quite a significant amount. If you compare it to 10 years ago, that you can see here, that 10 years ago it was just about 143 million. If you go back 20 years ago, it was about 28 million. So you can see from 28 million 20 years ago to over 1 billion in 2021, that is a really drastic increase of meth tablets seized to be 2 years ago. So you can see even in just these 2 years, there's been a significant decrease in the price of crystal meth in the region. And this is concerning because if you look at meth purity in the region, it's still very high. So this means that there is increased affordability to high quality and high purity meth for users. Drop last year, I think, if we look at different regions of Thailand, if we see the north of Thailand where a lot of the meth tablets are coming in, it's about $1 per tablet, and in Bangkok, probably about $2 per tablet compared to $10 per tablet about a decade ago. So what we can see is that organized crime groups have really been able to push supply into the region to drop these prices, also possibly lower cost of manufacture. But it's very concerning, as I mentioned during the presentation, because this means greater accessibility to the drugs, greater affordability to drugs, especially among younger people who might not have had the purchasing power before now.
But fundamentally, we need the region to refocus its law enforcement effort. There's lots and lots of seizures being made and no impact being made on the business itself. Organized crime just keep cranking out the volume, replacing seizures with more product. The chemical situation is highly complex. There's no essential chemicals being seized, and they just continue to flow unabated, primarily through Laos into Shan State. We also have huge money laundering operations at play in the region. We have no attempt fundamentally at the end of the day to address demand, which is seemingly growing and can continue to grow because the price point of the drug is so cheap. So there has to be a huge change in approach in this region, or it's just going to continue to get worse.
Southeast Asia's so-called Golden Triangle has long been an infamous hotspot for drug trafficking. With Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand's porous borders and lax local policing, allowing illegal substances to slip across. The UN Office on Drugs and Crime, or UNODC, said law enforcement netted nearly 172 tons of methamphetamine, approximately 7 times more than a decade ago, and the surging supply has sent street prices in Thailand and Malaysia crashing to all-time lows. Myanmar's northern Shan State remains the region's primary source of meth, with the drug increasingly shipped to Laos, then Thailand, before reaching Malaysia, where it's trafficked onward to countries throughout the Asia Pacific.